Laura arrives at the hospital to see Cyrus. Cyrus explains his encounter with Sunny has led him to a revelation. He provoked Sunny at the church, and he has let his anger go and only wants peace. Laura asks if that is why he called her here first thing in the morning. He says he called her as there is a lost soul in need of her help. Spencer walks in, and Cyrus says he's right on time. Laura asks what is going on. Cyrus says he had a visitor last night, someone who was desperate and alone. Spencer knows it was Esma, and Laura demands to know what is going on. Spencer admits he saw his father last night. Laura is stunned to learn Nikolas was in town and didn't see her, and asks why he risked coming back to Port Charles. Spencer says Nikolas came to take Ace, and he let him. Laura is aghast, but Spencer says Ace wasn't safe with Esmond. Laura says Esmond has proven herself to be a good mother. She asks why Esmond came to Cyrus. Cyrus says she assumed he still had powerful contacts. Laura can't believe what Spencer did, and how he could take a baby from the only family he knows. Spencer insists Esma has been lying to them and remembers everything. He explains she called him Spence like she used to before her memory loss. He admits that when he told Esma if she went to the police that he'd have the old charges filed against her. Laura can't believe he gave Ace to Nikolas on a hunch without any real proof. Cyrus interrupts and says if Esma would come to him, who else would she go to for help? And what will she do when she finds Nikolas? Laura feels that he need to call the police, but Spencer disagrees. Laura says Ace is safer with them, and she doesn't understand why he didn't come to her about his suspicions. They could have gone to the police about Esmond, and Ace should be with them when everything regarding the boy and his parents is sorted out. Spencer feels Ace is safer with his father. Laura says both Spencer and Nikolas have shown bad judgment, and, with Nikolas on the run, that baby has never been in more danger. They step out of Cyrus' room, and Spencer believes Esmond going to Cyrus shows she's as dangerous as ever. Laura calls Dant to report Ace's kidnapping. Adam wakes up and Willow explains he's at GH and his friend saved his life. She asks if he remembers anything last night. He says he drank a lot, and she says he also ingested pills. Adam says those were for a cold and he wants to get back to his dorm. Willow tells him that he has to be cleared first and that he's lucky to be alive. Adam comments, "Lucky me." Dex finds Joss at the hospital chapel. He found out from the RA Kylie what happened and wished she'd have called him to be here for her. She thinks she should go check on Adam and apologize to him. Dex says the only people who should be apologizing to him are his parents. Joss realizes Adam needs help. Dex adds, "And a good friend, which is what you've been." Back in Adam's room, Portia shows up to check on Adam. Adam asks when he can leave, and Willow excuses herself. Adam says last night was a misunderstanding, and his friend Joss just overreacted. He would like to be signed out. Portia knows Joss, and she doesn't overreact, and neither does her staff. She says it's hospital policy that he is evaluated by a psychiatrist before he can leave. Adam realizes Portia is trying his mom and tries to play on that to get out, but she insists they follow protocol. She says he has to be diagnosed, and they can't let him leave if it's determined he is a threat to himself or others. When she mentions his parents, he freaks. Portia says she had to call his parents, and he asks what she told them. Portia says he's over 18 and they can't share what happened without his permission, but his parents will have questions. She asks him to be honest with the doctor who will evaluate him, be honest with his parents, and be honest with himself. Portia leaves and asks Willow about the psych attending. She says he'll be down soon. They discuss the pressure Adam is under as Adam's father, played by Steve Mize, arrives and demands to see his son. Dex and Joss arrive and hear Adam's father calling his son a fool, one who made a fool out of himself and squandered their money. Portia says she'll go check on the attending who needs to see Adam. Joss rushes up to Portia and says Adam can't leave. Adam's father asks what she knows about all of this and his son. Joss says Adam has been hiding everything from him because of the pressure he's under. Adam's dad says Adam had top grades and was on his way to a top-tier medical school, and he's throwing that away to party. Joss says he's not partying, he's having panic attacks and self-medicating. Adam's dad tells Joss this doesn't concern her. She says it should concern him that last night Adam tried to kill himself. Joss says Adam is so afraid of him that he'd rather not face him. Adam's father calls Joss a liar, says he wants her
Portia
gone,
says
and he'll
Joss is
sue if she
leaving
comes
and
and
takes
takes Adam's
50 feet
father
of
to
her.
her office to talk. Willow and Dex convince Joss she should leave, and maybe Dr. Robinson can get through to his father. Joss agrees to leave but looks in on Adam before doing so. Esme turns up at Ava's gallery and begs her not to kick her out as she needs her help. Ava asks what she wants, to spit it out. Esme asks if she's seen Nikolas. Ava wonders why she asks. Esme cries, because he kidnapped my son. Esme explains while she was in court, Nikolas came to Laura's apartment, and Spencer handed over Ace to Nikolas. She thought she and Spencer were getting along, and Spencer supposedly hated his father. Ava says, like father, like son, both self-serving. Ava understands what it's like to be separated from your child, but asks what Esme thinks she can do for her. Esme assumes Nikolas may have come to see her. Ava admits he was here, but he's gone, and she'll never find him. Esme asks if she helped Nikolas kidnap her son, but Ava swears she didn't. She says Nikolas is a Cassadine, he has resources, and she won't find him. Esme notes she has resources, and she has a dangerous ally of her own. Ava chuckles. Who? And Esme reveals it's Cyrus. Ava says she has to be joking, but Esme says Cyrus is still Ace's family. When Ava asks what Cyrus promised her, she admits he promised her nothing. She breaks down and says she's all alone in this and rushes off. Sam stops by Bobby's, where Carly is interviewing people for assistant manager. Carly offers to get Sam something, but she tells Carly that she's waiting on Drew. Carly says she'll be waiting a long time for Drew. Sam admits she and Drew have been out of step recently, and she arranged this meeting to try and get through these issues. Sam thinks things have been tense since he got home from Pentonville. Sam asks Carly if she has noticed Drew's changed since he came back. Carly says Drew is struggling after his experience in Pentonville, and just when he was getting his bearings they found out Nina called the SEC on them and her mother died. Sam says Drew seems angry at the world, not just Nina. Carly says she's trying to move on and keep her mom's legacy alive. She says her mom gave people second chances, which is what they need to do for Drew. Sam says if there is any way she can help Drew, then she'll listen to her ideas. They rehash Drew choosing to go to prison to protect Carly, and Carly says that's why she's determined to help him through this. Nina arrives at Crimson and finds her office being packed up by movers. She announces she's calling security, but one mover says they are doing their job. She asks who ordered this. Drew walks in and tells Nina that he did. She scoffs that he can't order her out of her own office. He says this is business, he owns Aurora, and Aurora owns Crimson, and she's fired. Nina says he made a mistake, and she's not going to roll over and accept this. She says Michael still runs Aurora, and he's a person of business and knows without her this magazine will drown. She made Crimson one of the top fashion magazines in the country and Aurora's flagship title. She asks what kind of father tanks his company when his daughter is a major shareowner. Angry, Drew warns Nina not to bring his daughter into this. Drew asks if he ever did something to her to warrant what she did to him. She says this was all about Carly, and she didn't want him to go to prison. He says she was so hellbent on getting back at Carly, and this is really about her insecurity. He says she hates that Carly has a closer relationship with Wiley, Amelia, Willow, and even Sunny. Nina says he needs to take some accountability. He stepped up to save Carly when he didn't have to. Nina tells Drew to talk to legal. He just can't fire her, and without her, there is no magazine. Drew says he knows that, and he doesn't care. He will do anything to make her pay. She says so he's willing to shutter the magazine and lay off the staff to get back at her. Drew says that's on her, and Crimson and all its staff are out of business unless she signs a legal document agreeing she's been terminated. Drew walks out, and Nina sees a photo of her and Willow and the kids in a box. Drew returns and asks what she's decided. She signs the paper to save the magazine and the employees, even if it's giving up everything she built. Drew gloats Crimson was never in danger. He's not stupid, and Crimson will be just fine without her. She says the magazine is nothing without her. Does he think he can keep the photographers, the designers, and the editorial staff? She yells she's irreplicable, but Drew reveals he's already replaced her. Carly walks in and smiles at Nina.